Cody comes out, said that's the title that was put into my father's hands in the garden and then taken away. That's still the title I want. And he asks, what exactly is finishing the story? Is it taking the title from you, Roman, or is it taking everything from you? I want that title. I want everything. I'm coming for you, Roman, but not at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go through this first, and then we will get our reaction. He mentions that he talked to a lot of people this week, friends, family, and he got some counsel, including from legends. And I took some counsel from someone you know really well. And with that, out comes The Rock. And he comes out, shakes Cody's hand, gives him a message, and then Cody
gave him a long message. This was
he like whispered in his ear.
Said, this is one of those like Brett Shawn reunion moments where like they were clearly like communicating something heartfelt and meaningful outside of even storyline, and maybe at someday we'll learn what it is.
So Cody just has to walk out of this ring.
Yeah.
Walk to the back. Listen, this is the big WrestleMania main event, but man, in the moment, dude, Cody felt so deflated.
Like, oh God, there's no hiding this.
This was like, you won the Rumble and you're handing it off to this guy. Yeah. If you were getting to Rock and Roman, you can do it in many different ways. I don't know if this would have been my way to do it. I understand they want to do the endorsement of Cody and Rock, that you're not going to get a crowd that's turning on Rock or anything like that, or just I don't know.
I don't know how you would have done it, to be honest with you, John. Like they were caught in a weird situation, and I feel comfortable enough to say that this was probably not the plan at the end of the Royal Rumble, when Cody was on the top turnbuckle pointing at Roman Reigns. I mean, I really do feel like obviously the CM Punk injury kind of threw a big wrench into everything. And then now that you've had, I wonder if they would have even had Cody win the Rumble if they knew that this would be the ultimate result. And once you booked Cody,
who else could win it though?
Punk. And then Punk would have gotten injured. I'm saying if before Punk even got injured, you're right. If Punk got injured, then they would have had to figure out another way to make a challenge.
I'll tell you, at the beginning of this segment, I was really giving credence to my thought. Like the way Roman cut this promo on Seth, I was like, man, if you wanted to do the Cody Seth night 1 and the winner faces Roman night 2, you have just made a compelling reason to want to see Seth beat Cody. Like a sliver of doubt that, you have 2 viable options to face Roman.
It would have made sense in every way. Like you would have had the audience, or part of the audience, want to see Seth face Roman. Obviously, people want to see Cody versus Roman. And then you could have also had Dwayne on that first night as well. But that's not where they're going, because Cody clearly said, I'm not going to face you at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't know how we'll look back at this line, but when I heard those words, I'm coming for you, but not at WrestleMania, that just feels like, man, is that going to hover, that line? I mean, it was just like, what a...
So again, like they're just kind of caught in a weird position, aren't they? They had this guy win the Rumble, and now they want to make the toughest pivot they've ever had to make for one of these scenarios. They had to state it clearly to the audience that they have to state it clearly that the story is continuing. Cody still has his sights set on Roman Reigns, and not just his championship. He wants even more than that now.
Well, number one, he's got to cut the promo of his life on Monday. Number one, he has to give and Cody's very good at giving like heartfelt context to things like this. So I don't doubt that he can pull it off. But number one, you've got to justify why your goal of facing Roman, that you are stepping aside for The Rock. You have to give a tangible reason for that. Number two, you have to give the greatest explanation to go for Seth, when in this everything of this promo too was about the fact that he was praising the title Roman has. It wasn't like he was even saying like, what Seth said to me is something I need to finish before I come for you. Like there were ways to make, like you made this Seth title very much feel like you're reminding people that it is the number 2 title. And Cody pretty much endorsed that thought too. This is the title Bruno had. This is the title my father fought for. I'm going for the other belt.
You're right. Yeah, it's completely, I mean, clearly he's saving it for Monday. But on this night, you can't help but leave the segment feeling very deflated if you're a Cody Rhodes fan. I mean, they're banking on the shock of seeing The Rock to certainly like be enough to sort of placate this live audience and probably the audience at home too. But this is completely incongruent with the story that they're building for these entire 2 years. Why would you? What story is there left to finish if you're letting The Rock possibly win the championship and end the story for you? Unless Cody's going to go for Roman before WrestleMania, which is possible, but that I also don't see them doing.
Listen, I'm not even arguing. Like, Rock and Roman is the match they've wanted for years. I'm just saying I would have structured this segment a lot differently, even with Cody winning the Rumble. Like, yes, probably there was a lot of chaos that the Punk injury caused, but man, I could have gotten there in a different way than this. You understand why they're doing it, of course.
Yeah. Okay. So what exactly like would you have? Just not booking the entire segment, but like what were the biggest problems with the segment that you think they should have addressed?
The devaluing Seth's title and Cody just stepping aside. Like, you need a reason for that. I'm not saying you had to have that reason here, but you were really left with like, this guy is like, just he's stepping aside for the real star.
Yeah. I get the sense like Monday will be the second half of those explanations, and I have to think that they would directly address, why he's going for Rollins and why he's going for that championship in specific.
So The Rock appears and Cody takes off, and it's just a long stare down between Rock and Reigns, and the crowd's going nuts here. There's the shot of the sign, and then they just inch closer and closer. No words traded, and the show goes off with a graphic that there will be a WrestleMania press event this Thursday in Las Vegas at the T-Mobile Arena, streaming on Peacock and all their social channels. That I assume will be the confirmation of this match headlining Mania.
And probably confirmation of Cody and Seth on Monday as well.
Yeah, I would think they probably set that up Monday, and you've got 3 matches announced that they'll probably be able to promote.
Yeah. Really, really tough situation. It's almost kind of sad that like we're getting this dream match that I think we've all wanted in Rock versus Roman for all these like years at this point, and it's kind of being clouded with like a real sense of disappointment from like another a part of us that wants to see Cody finally like the longest term story that the WWE has been telling at this point, this close to the finish line. And as CM Punk said, it gets taken away from you right away from The Rock of all people, so there's going to be a hell of a promo, I think, within Cody when he's actually telling the truth of his emotions in this particular moment.
Well, tying in the location of WrestleMania with today's news, this is like Rocky after the first match with Apollo Creed saying, I want a rematch, but not in Rocky 2.
When then? So realistically, when do you think we would get, in your opinion, Cody and Roman?
I think that there's a really good chance that this is going to go another year.
I think so too. I think we said that
a really good chance of this.
We said it when the Rock rumors started, right? Yeah. But okay. If you're going to do that, are you going to have Cody beat Rollins? Because if that ends the story, then what other sort of is there enough sort of desire for the audience to want to see another year of wait for him to face Roman?
I mean, you can really go with Cody to try and, elevate what Seth has created. And, you can give the speech that I did not get to finish my story, but I'm starting a new one with this title. And it's the countdown to next year when maybe you do champion, or
I guess he did make it pretty clear that the story ends with Roman, did he not? Taking everything away.
I mean, he made that clear. He's coming for him. Like, that is still the match. That's still the match.
But in the meantime, he wants Rollins championship for whatever reason.
I'll say this also. I mean, if you have all of this tied up, number one, you have your 2 title matches in theory for WrestleMania, and Seth is hurt. So what is a men's chamber match to determine?
Yeah, that's a great point. They might not do a men's chamber match. It might just be a women's with Becky.
Like just with one chamber match. That's odd.
It's possible
for them to go that direction, unless there's some swerve in this whole thing towards Seth that Cody's got.
Rock is not going to be in the elimination chamber.
No, Rock's not going to, and Cody's won the Rumble. He shouldn't need to jump through any more hoops.